This is integrated 3. It's problem CL1-114. It says create a complete graph of this function f of x equals x squared minus 2x minus 8 and fully describe it. So I've already written the function down, and so I have to make a graph. So I know that if I want to make a graph easily, I should just try to find some intercepts for it. So I put in 0. I didn't show it, but put in 0 for y because the x-intercept. Oh yeah. Okay, put 0 in for y because the x-intercepts happen when y is 0. Right, and then I factored it. I think I showed my factoring. And that gives you your x-intercepts. So when you plug in 0 for y, you get your x-intercepts. So I ended up factoring this, and I ended up with x minus 4 times x plus 2. So that means that I have an intercept at 4 and negative 2, because I used the zero product property. And so I went ahead and put an intercept at 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 2. So that's how, and then I can get the x-intercept, the y-intercept by plugging in 0 for x. So if I plug in 0 for x, I'd have just 0 minus 8 equals y. So now I know that the y-intercept is at negative 8. I said the x-intercepts were at 4. I guess I should write it like ordered pairs. This should be 0, negative 8, like that. And so there's my negative 8. And then, so I ended up with these 3 dots, but I didn't know how, that's not the vertex because it wasn't centered. So then I realized I have to find the middle of the graph. And I remembered that I knew this little formula. It's part of the quadratic formula. It's negative b over 2a. So negative b over 2a will give you the x, let me write this. If you want the x coordinate of the vertex, you can use negative b over 2a. So that's a little formula that you might want to keep around. So, and what I mean by the b and the a is this is ax squared plus bx plus c. So b ended up being negative 2, but I need opposite of negative 2. I need negative 2, so that was 2. And I need 2 times a, but a is 1. So I got 2 over 2 equals 1. And that gave me my line of symmetry. And that's part of my description of my graph, too, is that I needed the line of symmetry. So I drew in the dotted line. And then I wanted to know what the y-coordinate of the vertex was. So I plugged in my x into here. That's what these little numbers are. So I went 1 squared is 1, minus 2 times 1, that's 2. Minus 8. So 1 minus 2 minus 8, that gave me negative 9. And that's enough. Like I've got both of the x-intercepts, I've got the y-intercept, and I've got the vertex. And I'm counting, hopefully you can see that I'm counting by ones. I've got my ordered pairs here. So now I'm supposed to say something about the shape. And so you can find out how to describe a graph on this. There's a page in your book. I want to say it's page 10. Page 10. Uh-oh. What happened? And this is page 10, and it says all the things you need to do to be able to describe a graph. I wrote them in my magic book. I just found an empty spot. I wrote them right here. And so now I'm going to go through and describe my graph. So for the shape, I said it was a parabola. And for the line of symmetry, I said it was x equals 1, because that's the line of symmetry. And then opens up or down. Oh, I forgot to say it opens up. So I would say that it opens up. And then asymptotes, I said no asymptotes. Increasing or decreasing. I wrote this on the board today, but I didn't write it here. I would say increasing for x is less than 1. And sorry, increasing for x is greater than 1. Decreasing for x is less than 1. And it's neither for right here, because it's just flat, I suppose. That's where it rounds out. So it said increasing or decreasing, and then I had to say something about the x and y intercepts. I got them kind of over here, the x and y intercepts. Domain and range. The domain, didn't write that either, did I? Domain, I see on the x-axis, it just goes on forever, so it's going to be all real numbers. The range is actually just going to be only y greater than -9. Greater than or equal to -9. So there's the domain and the range. What else did I skip? Endpoints. I think I wrote that there's no endpoints. There's no endpoints. Max and min. The vertex. Well, I wrote that, what the vertex was, and then it was a minimum. Continuous or discrete. I said it was continuous. I said it was a continuous function. And I think that, I mean, that's pretty thorough. Sorry, that's kind of a long video, but there it is.